creature in the sand finally used her hands to lure the creature out. Sure enough, the strange creature was shaped like hair and looked very thin. A friend of theirs named Gilbert just woke up from his sleep and was trapped in a trash can. Gilbert tried to get out of the trash can by shaking the barrel constantly. His friends immediately shouted for him not to move at all. Gilbert finally fell silent after being told that there was something in the sand. He was also so shocked when he found out that 2 of his friends had died from being sucked up by the sand on the beach. Gilbert finally had to endure and stay in that trash can. They began to despair and only hoped that someone would come to help them. Ronnie, who lost her boyfriend, writes a letter to her mother. Without food and no drink, they can only wait for something uncertain. Then they realized that the people who attended last night's party were gone and drowned in the beach sand. In other words, there are only 6 of them left on this beach. Not far away, Kaylee saw that the large boulder that had been found last night had been torn apart. Ronnie also realized that the large lump looked like a newly hatched egg. They believed that the strange creature under the sand most likely came from the giant egg. Jonah then had the idea to take the things that were in Marcia's bag. In the back of the car there are 2 surfboards that Jonah can use to walk. He put the surfboards one by one to step. As he approached the chair, the surfboard that Jonah was stepping on shifted and moved further away. Jonah tried to keep his body from touching the sand at all, but the monster instead came out of the beach sand and touched Jonah's stomach. Luckily he survived and managed to jump into a chair. But his stomach was injured because it was bitten by the monster. Jonah looks like a poisoned person trying hard to endure the pain. He said his stomach felt like he had been stung by thousands of jellyfish. While taking the pain, Jonah opened the contents of Marcia's bag and found some canned drinks. One by one, his friends were thrown drinking water by Jonah. As he threw the drink at Mitch, unexpectedly, the edge of the wooden handle beside him bumped and almost fell off. Jonah's stomach wound was getting worse and festering. Jonah, who was in pain, could only lie on the chair. The 5 of them were increasingly confused how they could survive on the beach. They had to take the cell phone which was in the trunk of the car. Ronnie also plans to open the trunk while stepping on the bumper of the car. But when the trunk started to open, suddenly, there was a patrol car honking non-stop. Ronnie suddenly slipped until her right finger caught in the trunk of the car. The man is a lifeguard. He asked exactly what Kaylee and her friends were doing on this closed beach. Kaylee tells if there is something under the sand of this beach. The disbelieving Coast Guard immediately got out of the car. Surprisingly, the monster that was in the sand couldn't hurt the man's leg. They were confused how the man walked without getting hurt at all. As it turned out, the leather shoes he was wearing protected the man from monster. The Coast Guard told Kaylee and Mitch to come down to him, but they both clearly didn't want to. The Coast Guard got angry and threatened to spray them with pepper spray. Unfortunately, the man's car key fell on the sand. He took his car keys, but his hands immediately felt heavy and he could not move at all. His hands began to be sucked into the sand. The